Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. Always exciting things going on with Jasper Arts. And joining us in the studio is the Executive Director of the Jasper Arts Commission, and that is Kyle Rupert. And of course, now you're housed in the Tim Clark Cultural Center, and a lot of activities are going on there. But there's still performances at the Jasper Community Arts Center. But we're going to talk this time mostly about some visual exhibits that you have at the Tim Clark Cultural Center. Kyle, welcome to the show. Let's get started with you've got two local shows that you're excited about.
Yeah, of course every show is fantastic, but we just opened two new exhibits at the Cultural Center. The Du Bois County Art Guild and the Patoka Valley Quilters Guild both have exhibits on display. The Quilters Guild are actually celebrating their 30th anniversary, so that's exciting. 3 decades worth of quilting is certainly an incredible achievement for that guild and that group. And so last year was the first time both groups were on display in the Cultural Center, and we're so excited to be able to have them back on display again this year. With the Quilters Guild, we've got quilts from wall to wall, hanging from the rafters. It's an incredible arrangement, and our visual arts coordinator, Emily Peak, does a fantastic job putting them all up, and it's quite a sight.
It's something that is a little bit of Americana to be able to see quilts. I think that's getting to be a lost art form that hopefully can continue.
Yeah, and all shapes and sizes, incredible patterns and stitch work that's on display. It's really impressive what they're able to put together with the materials and the patterns that they have available. Very impressive work on display.
I know my mother was a quilter, and she always hand quilted everything. And she never did one of these, but I remember log cabin quilts, which were a style that they did where they just kept putting the pieces together, kind of like, in modern terms, like a Tetris game that was put together, but it was a log cabin quilt. I'm sure that there's going to be some of those and some of this embroidered.
There's a lot of quilts that are on display. Too many to mention specifically, but they always do great work. It's always really interesting to see what the guild's been working on, and it's a free exhibit. All of our exhibits are free, so it's a good chance, especially in the summer months and the heat, to come out and you can cool off and take in the work of. These are all local artists, so we're people who live in our area that have their artwork on display.
Okay, and we're talking now about the Quilt Guild,
right?
But there's also the Du Bois County Art Guild,
yes,
and they're on display as well.
Yes,
that is more like pictures or collages or sculptures. Is that correct?
Yeah, we accept all different mediums. It's mostly paintings this go around. But we've had mixed media, we've had sculptures, we've had different things in the past. But like I said, this time around it's mostly painting. But there's watercolors, there's oils, there's acrylics, and it's great to see not only just the work themselves, but we have several artists in the Art Guild that have been on display for multiple years. And so it's great to see how their work has changed over time, or how their interests or subject matter has changed for some. And so it's always a really nice exhibit, always very well attended. This is a community that supports its community members, so we're very excited to have them on display again as well.
Well, what's neat there, I think, too, is you go and you look at a piece of art, and then you go, I know that guy. I know that person. That person's my neighbor. They live in my neighborhood, not realizing that they were an artist.
Yeah.
Or somebody that you had lost touch with, and all of a sudden their artwork is there, and you go, wow, this is what they're doing now.
Yeah.
So this is free admission to the Tim Clark Cultural Center, where you now have so much more exhibit space than what you had in the past. What are the hours?
So Monday through Friday we're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday we're open 10 to 2, and Sunday we're open from noon to 3. And I would encourage everyone, too, to come out on the first Thursday of every month, because we have a reception that we host in the galleries, and we've got food, and there is a cash bar. Most of the time the artists are there, so you can interact with the artists. Sometimes we'll have artist talks during those receptions, but the first Thursday of every month we have that. So we encourage folks to come out 5 to 7 p.m., so it's later in the day. You can come and check out the galleries later in the day on that day, but it's a good time.
Okay, and remember, if you plan to go to the Tin Clark Cultural Center to see the exhibits, don't show up at 5 because that's when it closes. You need to show up at 4. I would imagine you could be in there easily for an hour just walking around or more.
Yeah, taking in the artwork. We have 3 exhibits that are on display at the moment. So the 2 we've already talked about, and then we have a 3rd exhibit called Journeying to Change by an artist named Darak Burnett. His exhibit was already up, but it will run through along with these exhibits. So between the 3, you could easily spend an hour just taking in all the work that's on display.
And am I correct in that roughly every month, pretty much these exhibits change and a new set of art comes in?
Every month there's a new exhibit on display. Okay. Sometimes there's 2 that are on display that are new, but at least 1 new exhibit will be on display and opening every month.
Okay, now let's look a little bit to the future. Here in October, you're going to have the Beehive Arts Market.
Yes.
And it'll be your first year. Is that right?
This is our first year hosting it.
Okay.
We were going to host it last year, but the organizers, we've been working with the Bees, as they're known, on getting it up and running. And last year, the difficult decision was made to cancel the event, so we didn't have it last year. But this year, it looks like everything's a go, and it won't be out at Romeo and Claire Studio, where it had been for about 6 years. They were very interested in having it down here at the Cultural Center near the galleries and everything. So we're going to give it a shot down here. We're going to see how it goes. We are still taking applications for potential artists that are interested in selling their creations and their work at the market. But we will have food and we will have music and incredible pieces available. And I'll add that same weekend, Farmers Market will also be going on. So on the 8th, that Saturday especially, there will be about a 2-hour overlap where you can come down, you can shop at the farmer's market, and then you can turn around and spend the afternoon at the Beehive as well. Okay,
so the Beehive Arts Market is, we're really looking to the future because that is in October, so
Yes.
make your plans now. And the nice thing now with the Tin Clark Cultural Center is if the weather's not the way you want it to be, you can hold it all indoors. Or is it already scheduled to be indoors?
Beehive will be outdoors.
Okay.
That's our intent, is to have it outdoors. And should weather become an issue, we hope to be able to move as much of it inside as possible, but we're still working through the plans as to how that might work out.
So now I guess in a way this is a call out for people who would like to have a booth or show their work to contact you.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time remaining to submit, but anybody who's interested can go to our website, jasperarts.org/beehive, and they can get all the information on the market there.
Okay. Now let's talk about the performing side of
Yes.
Jasper Arts. You have released your lineup for the 2022-2023 season, and now packages are available to purchase.
Yes, so we just got through renewing series tickets for those who had them previously, and now those who haven't had a series before, we're processing those orders right now. And really the best reason or best rationale I could give someone for getting a series, getting a package, that's what they are, it's a package of shows together, is it ensures that you're going to get seats that you want without having to wait. Once we wait until August 1, that's when online ticket sales go up. That's when you can just buy tickets to individual shows, and those tend to go a lot faster. So getting that package ensures that you're going to get a ticket to the show or shows you want to see. You save a little money, which is always nice, but we try to package them up by venue and by concert style so that you should have a similar experience. The content might be different, but the experience should be similar across the package.
You have a couple of different packages people can buy.
Yep.
Can you buy just the Astra? Can you buy just the Performer Series at the Art Center?
Yep.
So keep that in mind. Or you can buy all of them.
Yes.
And the nice thing, too, is you pretty well know where you're always going to sit.
Yes.
Because you have your tickets. But then individual tickets for certain shows will be going on sale as they go along. But you typically sell out for a lot of these shows, so you need to be thinking about that, purchasing early.
Yeah, there are about 4 or 5 shows a season that will sell out typically, and that's why we encourage folks get this packages, because that is your best chance to get not only to get tickets for this season shows, but then you become part of that renewal group for next year. So when we have our 2023-2024 season lineup announced, you're going to have first dibs on having tickets to those shows. So we always encourage folks, get the packages if you can. That's the quickest way, the best way to ensure that you have a seat to a show you want to see.
And to do the tickets, you can either go in person, but what if somebody wants to do it online? Can you do it online?
As of this season,
Yeah.
you can't buy packages online.
Okay.
We are actively looking at how we make that a possibility. My hope is that by next season that'll be an option, but right now if you want to buy a package, you have to call us or mail in an order form.
Because it's pretty complicated the way you have the seating to be able to get that somewhat.
Well, what ends up happening, there's a lot of back-end stuff that goes into that with the current ticket vendor that we utilize. So that's what we're working through right now is how do we make that possible? Because it would be definitely more convenient for folks to be able to go online and buy their packages there. So we're looking at that. And we're also looking at how the packages are constructed. You know, they've been this way for a few years now, some of them for much longer. And is that really meeting the needs or what people are looking for with their packages?
And remember, now that office is at the Tim Clark Cultural Center.
That's our main office.
Yeah, that's where your main office is. That's where you need to go to buy the tickets.
Absolutely.
Kyle, anything else you'd like to add? There's so much that goes on.
Well, we do have a show
yeah.
coming up on August 12th, and that is a carryover from last season. So we have a few tickets available for that. It is a backstage show. It's a folk duo from Canada, but they were the 2019 Folk Artists of the Year in Canada, so very highly acclaimed. A couple of artists coming in to perform. It's going to be in a backstage setup, so you're going to be very close to the artist, and we only have a handful of tickets that are currently available for that show. So anybody who's interested, August 12th, call us, come in, and get those tickets because there aren't many left.
Okay, so that'll go quick.
Yes.
All right. Kyle, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of exciting things with the Jasper Arts. Just make sure that you stop by the Tim Clark Cultural Center to see the Patoka Valley Quilt Guild. Yeah, you bet. I'll let you say what show's going on.
Come by Jasper Community Arts at the Tim Clark Cultural Center to see the Patoka. Oh my God,
The Patoka.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Patoka Valley Quilters Guild and the Du Bois County Art Guild exhibits
That are on display. All right, Kyle, thank you very much.
Thanks,
I'm glad I'm not the only one that stumbles. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.